Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Marisa Maggio Harelson. I live in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm at our cabin right now in Prescott, Arizona, with lots of snow, and it's really nice. I have an amazing presenter here tonight, which is Dr. Brett Brimhall. He is a holistic chiropractor. He's a nutrition expert. He has formulated with his father supplements. People from all over the world come to Dr. Brimhall to seek help and health. And he's also a master with brain health and just so many things. And we're just so honored that he is here tonight and he's part of this incredible company, LifeVantage. So I just want to share a little bit about my story and tell you how I got here. And you're going to hear from Dr. Brimhall. You're going to hear from me. You're going to hear a little bit about the science. You're going to hear about our products and how this company, LifeVantage, publicly traded on the NASDAQ, got started all because of this one incredible product. And then we have evolved into what's called evolution of activation, right? What does that mean? You're going to find out tonight. So I just invite you, thank the person that invited you tonight to be here, to be a part of this, to learn about your health, because listen, our health is more important today than ever before, right? And without it, nothing else matters. And what if you knew of natural products that could actually activate your genes, flip on genetic switches so that you could feel better and do more and have more vitality and more energy? Like, I'm all fired up. I feel so good. I feel so healthy, and I'm so blessed and grateful that I feel so healthy. And I know that these products have been a huge part of my health regimen. They're not a panacea, but they are the best tools out there to complement your already healthy lifestyle, or one that you're inviting into your space, into your life. So I was introduced to LifeVantage almost 9 years ago. I can't even believe that. It feels like 9 weeks ago in some ways, because each and every day I'm learning something new. And that's, I've always been into health and wellness. My main career way back when was a television news journalist, and I did that industry for almost 20 years. And I left that industry when my children were babies. I waited a long time to have kids. I'm an older mom, but I'll tell you what, I act younger than most moms my age who already have kids that are grown. But anyway, I just I was at yoga. I teach yoga and meditation today, and I teach this beautiful new science of nutrigenomics. I cannot wait for you to learn about nutrigenomics, nutrition for your genes. So I overhear this conversation at yoga. I'm asking this yoga teacher about it, and she points to one of my students. Some of you know who she is, and I just always honor her, Carrie Williams. Thank you very much for being my 5:30 a.m. Monday morning teacher or student. I became a student of hers, but she was a student of yoga. I became a student in this incredible business because I saw what you're going to see tonight is an ABC investigative report. We'll give you about 3 minutes of it, just a little clip of it, to give you an idea of how this once small biotech company out of the University of Colorado in Denver got started. And really, I mean, that is the beginning of our story. So let me just share my screen. And I'll tell you a little bit about our company, LifeVantage. We're publicly traded, as I mentioned, on the NASDAQ, and we are a debt-free company, which is really amazing. We went debt-free in April, in one of the most, crazy times in our lifetime, right? Think about it. So what LifeVantage is, we are pioneers of this new modern science of nutrigenomics. This is wellness care. We're flipping genetic switches so that we can feel better and do more. And listen, our bodies are being hijacked daily by the foods we eat, processed foods, by the environment, by pollution, sun damage, the products you put on your skin. I mean, think about it. Your skin is your largest organ. From stress. Who isn't feeling stressed out sometimes today? People losing their jobs. There's financial stress, there's emotional stress, and then other factors that people will like numb their life with alcohol and drugs and things like that, and cigarettes. So also technology, although we love technology, it also is not always great for our body, right? And did you know that since the Industrial Revolution, over 85,000 chemicals have been introduced into our world? That is just crazy. And if you think about it, children, when they're born, babies, when they're born, they've already been exposed to over 200 environmental toxins in utero. So your body can do its best to eliminate some of these things, right? But what's happening, you saw the screen go from light to now dark. It's making our genes dark, that the switches aren't working as well. The light switches aren't turning on as well. So, wow, what does that make you feel like? Well, it can help you, it can decrease your immune system. That's for one thing. Also, brain fog, sluggishness, bad moods, depression, lack of motivation, increased stress, and fatigue. That's what dimming the light switch of our DNA is like. And really, what's happening in our DNA is that we are being bombarded by free radicals. So, we're going to teach you a little bit about oxidative stress, mitochondrial decline, and a decrease in sirtuin activities. So much more. And I can't wait for Dr. Brimhall to share a little bit more about it. But right before we do that, we want to give you this little clip because science has discovered that our genes contain incredible abilities to keep our bodies healthy. So we're going to take you back in time to an ABC primetime investigative report. John Quinones, 11-time Emmy award-winning reporter. Watch what happens to his blood type. And then Dr. Brimhall is going to share with you why this is so exciting, why so many medical professionals are just flipping out over how we can flip the switches.
You want to get an edge on turning back the clock? Who doesn't? Well, it's no longer science fiction, but science possibility, a potential breakthrough. It may not look like the fountain of youth, but inside this nondescript building, I'm about to become part of an exciting experiment. For me, it begins with a blood test.
It wouldn't be the first time I've given blood for this company.
They want to check my levels of something called T-bars, which is a rough indicator of a person's actual age. T-bars can identify a condition known as oxidative stress, a kind of measure of the wear and tear on our bodies. Oxidative stress, like the rusting of an engine, is not a good thing. The problem of aging begins with the very food we eat to give us energy. As our cells burn that food, they also release toxic chemicals. Those chemicals, you may know them as free radicals, react with all the components of our cells, literally bombarding them millions of times per second, damaging all our cells. The result? Oxidative stress, and we all have it. The body fights back with a system of defenses. It makes two antioxidant enzymes, catalase and SOD, whose job is to gobble up the free radicals before they can harm our cells.
So, doctor, how often do I take these?
And so, here I go. With that swallow, I've just become part of a potentially landmark scientific experiment. It's called Protandim, and tests have already shown that it revs up the manufacture of those good enzymes in our bodies. More enzymes, fewer free radicals to harm us. Normally, oxidative stress, measured by those T-bars, increases with age, but taking just one pill of Protandim a day reversed that trend for everyone at every age, even for an 80-year-old. So just what's in this seemingly incredible pill? Well, actually, its roots are very humble. Protandim is a combination of 5 plant ingredients. Some you may know: green tea or turmeric, a spice used in Indian cooking. Others, Withania somnifera and Silybum marianum, are more exotic. High oxidative stress is associated with more than aging. It's been linked to hundreds of illnesses.
It's at the very center of many diseases: liver disease, diabetes, emphysema, asthma, all of these, strokes, heart attacks.
Even mental disease.
Yes,
Depression?
Alzheimer's disease, depression.
But what about my progress? After nearly 2 weeks now, it's time to get my results. The result? My level of oxidative stress has declined dramatically. Just look at where I fall on the graph, before and after. Have we turned back the clock? Maybe not on the outside, but deep inside within my cells. Yes, indeed.
We do know that oxidative stress is part of those disease processes. I don't want to wait until I'm 80 years old and find out that I should have taken it.
The company that makes Protandim says its tests show the pill, made from ingredients used for centuries, is absolutely safe. For more, go to our website at abcnews.com.
And boy, that's exactly what people did. They went to ABC Primetime and there were $5 million in orders, and the company's stock went from $1 to $20 a share quickly overnight, almost delisted. So with that, I'm going to let Dr. Brett Brimhall share a little bit about this. I'm just giving him share screen options. There you go. You are the commander in chief of the slideshow. Hopefully that will all work. And I hope you'll have to use your own PowerPoint, right? You got it?
Well, I can, yeah. Let me pull it up real quick. So
Okay.
Marisa, thank you so much. And you guys, those who don't know, if you don't know Marisa really well, like she's phenomenal as a leader, but you think of somebody that she gets up early, teaches yoga because of her passion for healthcare. And she didn't have a problem. Like she wasn't looking for something because she had a problem. And I looked back at that video and I kind of reminded, like John Quinones didn't know his oxidative stress was high. Like he didn't know until he did the blood test and realized it was high, right? So if many people are just wanting to know what they can do to lower oxidative stress for you. So if yours is high, you might feel it a certain way. And as I kind of thought about this week, about having this conversation with you, Marisa, as I was thinking about, I had people text me from all over the company of people that are struggling with neurological struggles, kids that are struggling after going through divorces and they're just having a hard time focusing in school, to people that have gone through, injuries like head injuries and stuff, and just wondering if this is something that might help them be able to focus more, concentrate better, have more energy to get more done, to be able to maybe even like walk better. And I'll maybe share some of those stories just briefly and what can happen if your oxidative stress is high, or if your mitochondrial function is deficient, or if your body isn't manufacturing sirtuins adequately. How you feel right now, exactly at this time in this space, how well you're thinking, how well you're learning, the way you're experiencing life is a result of how well your cells are functioning. And if they function better, what might your experience be like? What might it feel like? And we'll have a unique opportunity to kind of go through this. I'll pull that slide deck up real quick. Let me just.
And it's really, Dr. Brimhall is on the science advisory board as well for LifeVantage. And that's a huge honor. He saw the science of this, and, there were researchers from all over the world that contacted Dr. McCord after that ABC primetime aired back in 2005. And they wanted to begin their own studies on this little yellow pill and could it do what it says it was going to do. So they started studying their own issues. And so you're going to hear a little bit more about all of the science, the clinical peer-reviewed published studies that are on pubmed.gov. And it's just been extraordinary. And so this company went retail. They were retail for 3 years after that ABC report aired. So you might have seen it on the store shelves, GNC's, Rite Aid, CVS pharmacies. And the store clerk doesn't know how to educate. She doesn't know, they're making minimum wage. They don't know how to say, you know what, this is flipping on a genetic switch, our NRF2 protein. And I can share the screen if you want me to, if you're having some issues.
I've got it right now. Okay,
cool. And so they took it off the store shelves, you guys. After 3 years, the company was going bankrupt. They were almost delisted. And so that's why we have such a story to share. That's why we're so passionate about it, because this is truly a gift and it's so natural. So I'm going to let you go ahead and take it away. Dr. Brimhall, thank you again.
Hey, thank you so much. And I'm excited to be here tonight, guys, because literally I had this thinking about this conversation. But the bottom line is that when I was exposed to this company, I had heard of this Protandim before, but I've been teaching for several different nutritional companies over the last 20 years. And I wasn't looking for another product. Actually, when I first saw the product, it didn't seem that unique and different. But that was before I understood what you just saw, that there are these switches inside the cell that literally control the systems of your body. And when they decrease, they're literally walking around with a dim light, right? Where they're not able to do what they're designed to do. And when you have higher level of oxidative stress, or your body can't make energy, what's called mitochondrial decline, or your body can't make sirtuins, you literally will decrease in function. And what that means for you is you may not be able to get up in the morning. Like you may not be able to think or have what's called decision fatigue. So every single one of us are experiencing life less than we could if based upon what we're doing or not doing. So let me kind of show up some of this. So if there were really switches in your body, would you want to know about them and would you want to utilize them? Because this isn't a matter of is it affecting you? It's just how bad would you like to function at a higher level? because it is absolutely, whether you know it or not, like you walk outside, you're getting toxins, whether you know it or not, like it's happening every single day. So how well you handling it? So this is I love this picture. It just shows you what happens with oxidative stress. As soon as you bite into an apple, this process begins. That apple, if all didn't happen, it starts browning, right? Inside your cells, this very thing, everything's happened. And when that happens, you don't want to eat that apple. So if that's your cell, what does that mean? What is really happening inside that? Now, thank goodness the body has these unique abilities to turn that cycle around, and it can turn a switch on inside your cells to literally turn that switch on. So what's different about the way these products are made, as I began to understand them, it's the combination of certain plant ingredients combined together that causes a response. And the way I like to describe it is this. As you watch this thing slide, you'll see these 5 ingredients show up. All of us have made something before. Like I came home, my daughter was cooking. It's kind of fun to watch. And she was putting all the ingredients together and cooking it. So you can have all the right ingredients, but if it's not combined in the right ratios in the right way, you're not going to have the same product, right? It's not going to taste the same. And literally, if you just set it on the counter, it doesn't do anything. So your body's the one that does the magic. And so when you combine the 5 ingredients in Protandim, it literally turned on these switches inside the cell where it produces vast amount of antioxidants. And what that means is you're turning on the body's repair mechanisms. You're basically getting the garbage guys to get out and clean the crew up, right? So if you do that, that switch literally turns on and the body starts to repair. So your body has a hierarchy. In other words, it's always going to fix what it has to, and then eventually it can fix what it wants to. And so it's always going to take a priority over like heart and brain over maybe a skin or a muscle, right? So if your body doesn't have enough extra to fix what's going on, you're not going to function ideally. So what if you could? What if you could get more from your paycheck? What if you could get more from your cells? Well, you can if you understand there is a switch, and then you understand how to turn that switch on. And you don't have to guess. For instance, there are different tools called a supplement and an activator. So most people probably have heard that they're probably deficient in vitamin D. So deficiency, right, has a big vast array because a normal optimal vitamin D should be around 85, but most people are below 20. But normal is 20 and above. But if I say, hey, you need some vitamin D, you could go to Sprouts or GNC, and which one are you going to choose? And is it going to work? Well, most people say, well, I choose by price. Well, the most expensive supplement is the one that doesn't work. So with this, you don't have to guess because if you go to a place called pubmed.gov, you can literally look up these studies on Protandim specifically and know that it activates these gene responses. And now, why is that important? Okay, because this protein that's activated called NRF2 by Washington State was called this. It's likely to become the most important health promoting approach in the foreseeable future. NRF2 may well become the most extraordinary breakthrough in the history of health. So I want you to think about all the really amazing advances in health and medicine. And Washington State is saying this is a breakthrough in such a point that it's basically the most promising approach in the foreseeable future. So if you're not using this strategy as part of your health strategy, then you're not getting as much from your body as you could. And you don't have to guess. Because just like I said, if you go on GNC and there's 30 vitamin Ds, they're not all the same. So you can guess or you can know. And it's just nice to have that level of confidence. So as I'm working with patients, and even this today, I saw people today that are dealing with neurological problems, kids that have struggled with learning and behavior problems, people that have had neurological conditions where it affect their ability to walk and just take care of themselves, to kids that are struggling with severe, just worry and concern where they can't even function in school. So what do we do? Well, if I can improve the systems, then I can improve the way the person functions. And it's nice to be able to have that type of confidence. So here's the difference in what we do versus anything else. Your body makes free radicals. So those are the bad guys. So just like you saw in John Quinones, as you age, that level of oxidative stress goes up. So basically your healing response goes down. So the traditional thing is you give the body antioxidants like vitamin A, vitamin C, selenium, zinc, things of that nature, or you can activate it through NRF2. And what they found in the study is whether the person was 20 or 80, it created a change in where the free radicals now were like they were the newborn. So I would imagine most of us have a lot more energy when we're younger than we do when we're older. So what if you could do that? What if you could turn that energy cycle back on? Well, that's what you now have the ability to do. All right, verify this. Go to what's called pubmed.gov, type in Protandim. You're going to see over 20 different published studies studying the product, not just the ingredient, which is giant. Of all the 200 plus products my dad's created, none of them has published science on PubMed. You know, there might be studies on the ingredients, but not on the actual product. Phenomenally unique and very expensive to happen. And these universities studied these on their own dime. Right. So if there's one switch, could there be more? Well, if there are, would you like to know? So there are, we're going to talk about a couple of them. One of them is called the mitochondrial, the effects of mitochondria. So mitochondria, that's your powerhouse of your cells. If they do not work, you can't make energy, just like your phone. You guys have all known sometimes your phone gets low on power, right? So what does it do? It goes on safe mode. Well, it's not as usable on safe mode. So there are a lot of things, applications that cannot run, so it slows down. So when your body decreases energy production, it slows down. It will turn off other systems to basically save power to run the vital things. Well, that's not a great thing if you want to repair, right? So what if you could literally turn a switch on through a combination of specific ingredients to activate the body to not only allow the mitochondria to function better, but to help your body produce new ones? That's NRF1. Vastly different than anything you've ever seen, right? Well, if that happens, we get an increased production of those genes by 70%. Right? What that means is vast difference in how your body can manufacture energy. And for some people, so if for fun, look at PubMed.gov and type in mitochondrial dysfunction and anything you can think about, whether that's maybe it's neurological, like multiple sclerosis, or mitochondrial dysfunction in ALS, or maybe it's mitochondrial function in autism. And then go in and type in oxidative stress in any condition you can think of. And what you're going to find is a correlation between those. Now, the reason why that is, it's not because A equals B, it's because when your body has a repair mechanism, it has an energy production mechanism, and when those don't work, systems break down. And when systems break down, you start developing symptoms that combine together to give you a diagnosis. So the nice thing about this, if you're a mammal and you utilize this strategy, you can improve the functioning of each of those systems. All right. Then there's the sirtuins. So sirtuin is another theory of aging we talk about, and you may have heard of these molecules, maybe you haven't. All right, but this pathway, critically important. Again, you can find specific herbs to affect that. And what you're hearing a lot in the research right now is the way to get sirtuin production is by what's called intermittent fasting. So fasting for longer periods of time. Well, I just had a conversation with somebody yesterday talking about this, and they've been intermittent fasting. And it's helped. His wife's been struggling with Lyme's disease, and she actually went to like a 30-day fast, and it's helped her quite a bit. He had not heard of activation. He had not heard of sirtuins. And he said, I'd love to find other ways to improve the outcome by other strategies. So guess what? When you take Protandim NAD, it increases sirtuin by 100% within 24 hours. Yeah, it's a unique tool we now have to activate these natural inborn pathways of the body. All right, so check this out. What if you could? Like, I have 4 kids. Now, what if they all work together at the same time? How much more work could get done? That'd be pretty cool, right? Well, what if you could combine and improve how your body repaired, how it made energy, and how the cells communicated? What might happen? Well, so happened that we did a study looking at that specifically because we also were curious. What you'll see on this here, we won't make it scientists, I promise, but what this showed, and we've always said that Protandim NRF2, the one that produces your body's antioxidants, the clinical crew, we see it reduces free radicals by an average of 40% in 30 days. Well, this right here is a gene that influences how well a system works. So we just take an NRF2, it activate this gene by 40%. When you combined it with the other 2 workers, the NAD or sirtuins and the mitochondria, it went from a 40% increase in functionality to a 73%. Well, at another one that controls the inflammatory process in the body, went from a 50% to 838%. Well, that was also true when it looked at mitochondrial function. So with mitochondrial function, this is genes that regulate that from a 64 to an 84, a 69 to 118. And this is fascinating here. So increase in NAD, which is huge, right, by 12%, which there's nothing else on the market that does that by itself. But when you combine it by improving the body's cellular repair and energy production, it went to 127% and over 220%. So what's that mean for you? One is you now have a tool or a health strategy that if you choose to do, can influence, if you look at these are the genes. So this is the system of the body that controls your body's antioxidants, which is repair, the detoxification gene, the inflammatory gene, the metabolic gene. Okay, so think about energy, making new powerhouse of your cells. Okay, recycling NAD, which means allow you to actually utilize that molecule again and again, all right? And improving the body's ability to make sirtuins. So you have the ability to do that, and we don't have to guess. Like, we know this is what happens inside the cells because it's been studied. Right, so the questions are you ready to flip the switch? And what might happen for you? Well, I don't know how you're currently feeling, but could you benefit from a more positive mood and motivation? More healthy longevity, better focus and concentration, better physical and mental energy, less inflammatory responses, better vascular system. Would that be something to be of interest to you? Now, I know many of you are on here that maybe someone invites you, you don't know why, and you don't have a health condition, right? But maybe you have family members do it. Maybe there's some family history that is concerning to you. So what are you currently doing right now to not only function better today, but to decrease the risk of tomorrow? Well, for me and my family, I don't have symptoms personally, but with what I've seen happen in individuals, and I was introduced to this as I watched the little boy, and I'll come back to it, but that's this right here, this tri-synergizer. So I love the convenience. I have 4 kids, right? And so if I can just hand them a packet and that's it, I'm done, right? Super, super easy. And you can get them individual bottles or in little packets, brilliant. And for me, I have them in my backpack. So if I just grab one and I go, if I'm traveling, I take 2 or 3 with me and I have them. Like I was on a trip with the brothers and some friends in Mexico. Guess what I did? I threw a bunch of these in my bag and this is what I took. They'll ask me, what is that? I said, well, wouldn't you like to know? Right? Because I had something that I could take with me and know I'm taking care of my body, not only to feel better, but also to function ideally and to have it be functioning ideally when it's exposed to things that I don't want. So you might be thinking, well, is this science applied anywhere else? Well, it is. So I wasn't introduced to LifeVantage because of Protandim. I was introduced to LifeVantage because of Axio. So I want you to think about that technology we just talked about, which is activating systems of the body. And I saw this young man, this little boy, who was brought to me by his mom, and he was brought to me because someone had told her that I might be able to help him because he'd been struggling with learning and behavior. I started working with him at 3, and for every week for a year, I did everything I possibly knew to help him, everything. And then his mom started him on this product called Axio. And with 11 days, we saw a 50% plus improvement in his behavior, in his learning, and his recall of information. It wasn't that he wasn't getting the information, it's just he couldn't recall it. So how many people do you know that are struggling with decision fatigue, right? A lot of us are struggling because we have brain fatigue, mental fatigue. Well, actually was designed with the same idea of activating of responses inside the cell, but specifically looking at brain. So if you know of anybody you'd like to be able to have their brain function better, so for you women out there that have husbands, that's probably an ideal thing, right? But for anybody that's maybe even used or looked at using or had them used, like things like sodas and coffee and energy drinks, well, what if there's a better way that not only help the brain function better, but actually help protect it? That's Axio. So they've taken the same technology, combined it in systems to affect brain. The ProBio is a probiotic that helps the body, the gut heal and repair. Omegas, which you need for your eyes and your brain, from a weight management system to a skin system to a hair system to pet. So every single one of those systems you can improve, but with this brand new technology. Now, how big a deal is that? Well, it's a giant deal. So part of the reason why I'm doing this, for starters, what I saw in that little boy, and I thought, what kind of doctor would I be if I didn't share it? But as I began to share it and watching people around me that I'd worked with for years and years get better than I had gotten them, and some of them up to 15 years, I realized that not only was this science real, but it was working. And I was seeing people improve in ways that I didn't think was possible. And then I made me realize, okay, this is something we need to share. So LifeVantage is a publicly traded company, like Marisa was saying, based out of Utah, publicly traded. And what we do, we work together to get this information out there, because I know there are people that you know, and some of you invited to this call tonight wondering, would this possibly help them? Well, what I can tell you is that I'm grateful this is network marketing, because I've taught with physicians for years and years, and we're not the fastest to adopt new things. Actually, we have a lot of filters and screens. So if you have one of those ones like, well, is this real? And like, what is this stuff? Just do your homework and realize that it is real. But when you start taking these things, give it time. Because if what you're doing right now is not getting you where you want to be, you need to make some changes to that. So here's some of the trends. As somebody that's ran a clinical practice for 20 years, I watched this trend happen, and I've always wondered, when are we going to start really focusing on health? Here's the trends. Wellness continues to go up and up and up, and it's got even more and even faster in the last year because of COVID. All right. The industry, whether you're talking about anti-aging, skincare, hair care, pet care, energy, or weight loss, every industry is growing because people are looking for ways to improve their health on their own, but they want it to be real. They want it to be convenient. They want it to be effective. Right. So this is the first thing that blew my mind, because I've always watched people that blew my mind. Why does somebody pay a lot of money to look better when they don't feel better? Well, this trend has finally switched, and it's even increasing more. It's still important to look good, but there's huge shift in people wanting to feel good as well. So this business model was not something I was familiar with. I was familiar with networking because I'd done that. But with this business model, you can literally work from anywhere. The cost entry is super, super low. Everything I need to run my business is on my phone. And you get a team up with a team of people that you can work together. Because maybe your background isn't science, but we can team up together, right? But your background is marketing. Well, what if you team up with a group of people like that? Well, you can now do that. And never before, especially with COVID the last year, people are looking for other ways to do something that they enjoy around people that they love and that they can work from anywhere. And boy, that's something that really shaped their life this last year. So one of the things that I've learned from this in the science world, I was
another emery.
that I knew the science, but I didn't understand the industry. And so I want to invite Marisa to come back in here to share what she's done, because she's been in this industry longer than me. And she is actually a phenomenal gift to people in their health and wellness, because she just loves people. And she also loves to help other people have success, whether it's in yoga, whether it's in their health, or whether it's in their business. And she's built a giant organization sharing these products with other people and helping other people, because you can truly have a ripple effect upon people in their health and their wellness and in their finances in doing just this. And so Marisa, thank you so much for the opportunity to share the science. And what I want you guys to know, like, if this is something that you find is of interest to you, please get with the person who invited you, get on the products, give them time. And this is what I always tell people: give yourself 1 month for every year you struggled minimally on the products, because you don't feel bad first. You have all these systems break down until you start feeling. That didn't happen overnight. Give it time, because if you don't, you're not going to get where you need to be. All right, Miss Marisa, you there?
Okay. You want to just go ahead and use you can, okay, you're giving me share screen back.
I'll put it back up.
Okay, I got it. I got it.
Okay.
I got it. Yep. So you guys, I just want to, share a little bit about, I wasn't looking for an opportunity when I always say LifeVantage found me. I did not find LifeVantage, but it was up to me whether I said yes to it. And we understand that the business model is not for everybody, but oh my gosh, I think the business model is the best business model in the world. I used to work in TV news, and it was the person next to me wanted my job, right? So in here, we're only as successful as the people that we help be successful. Isn't that a concept? Like, help other people be successful. So yes, we are very joyful. I got to tell you, this is the most joyful thing I have ever done. Outside of having my children and my husband, and I love teaching. I feel like I'm in the flow of life. I feel like this is what I was born for. And if you knew how I grew up, let me just tell you, this is amazing. So I grew up in Kentucky, youngest of 5 kids. Our parents, my sister's on this call with me, doing this business with me, which is so much fun as well. But we grew up in a household where our parents argued a lot over what we didn't have. And so as you grow up, even though as an adult, I've had wonderful work ethic in everything that I've done, there's always been this little thing in my brain, like, there's never going to be enough. There's never going to be enough. I'm an older mom. Or the kids are going to be in college, at which they are. And, we're going to be on a fixed retired income and all of those things. And this has totally released those shackles of financial stress. So for me, it was a no brainer. When I love something, I love sharing it. If it's a yoga studio, it's a restaurant, a book, whatever it is, I love sharing it. And here, if you fall in love with these products and a few basic business principles, you can get your product paid for. And maybe that's all you want to do. Maybe you want to create some part-time income or some, a little more full-time or life-changing income. So I wasn't really sure where this was going to go, but I knew I wanted these products in my body and in my family's body. And so over time, I've been able to build my business to a crazy, like I dream this, to be honest with you, because I never made six figures in television news. So I want to just share what is possible. If you look at what a Pro 3 is, we have levels 1 through really executive, Pro 11 and LifeVantage. But Pro 3 is somebody who's relatively new in the business, but we can get them there pretty quick within like 90 days, especially if they're laser beam focused. And they brought a couple of friends in or family members that see the opportunity, and they've brought in a couple of customers. That is about 5,000 organizational volume points, almost dollar for point. And that's over $600 monthly leverage check that they get on the 15th of the month. Now, can you imagine what 600 extra dollars would do for a family today? And then you get into what's called a Premier Pro 5, and that's over 20,000 organizational volume points coming through their business. And that's almost $20,000. And that they're making a little over $3,000 that month, every month. And this is earning you income as you're sleeping. So this is what I love about leveraged income. You're creating basically an online store, and it's going globally. It can. We were in 4 countries when I started LifeVantage. We're now in over 25 countries. And then you hit the elite ranks, and that's what a Pro 7 is. Pro 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then you can actually surpass the Pro 10. It's crazy. There's no limit. There's no limit in this beautiful profession of network marketing where people don't really understand what this business model is, but they're starting to. And right now, over 150,000 people a week join a network marketing company. They want a side hustle. They want to weave it into the nooks and crannies of their life to create leveraged income. Because if we don't find a way to earn income while we sleep, most of us are going to be working until we die, unless we've been blessed with, inheritance, or we were really smart with investing our money, right? But there's a lot of people on their hands and knees praying for something extra. So when I looked at what an elite Pro 7 was making, and at that time it was about 10,000 a month, it's over 13 now. I thought, wow, she's a Pro 7. Carrie Williams was my yoga student at the time. She's now almost a Master Pro 10. And I went, wow, if I could earn that, that would be like, I don't need anything else. Right. And it was just like, I couldn't even believe it. And I hit that rank in 5.5 years. Dr. Brimhall is an elite Pro 7 in LifeVantage, and he works full time. And he's managed to fit this in the nooks and crannies of his life. A year after hitting Pro 7, I actually hit the rank of Pro 8, which is over 200 organizational volume points. 7 is 100,000. So there's no limit here to what can happen. And it's because the people that they know, they just start sharing it. And it takes time. This is not network marketing. It is network marketing, but it is truly the most joyful work that I've ever done, because I know I'm helping people get healthier. And I know that if people see the opportunity, that's wonderful too. That can be an amazing thing for them as well. So people can be customers, never do the business. 90% of our company is customer based. And some people will come in as a customer and buy one of these enrollment packs. But if you're thinking about the opportunity, get back to the person that invited you and start talking to them about, well, what is the platinum pack and the gold pack and the silver pack? We say, look, if you see the opportunity, come in either on the platinum or the gold, but get in where you fit in, right? This is a one-time purchase, and you get all of the products on the platinum pack. You get most of the products in the gold pack. So then you're ready to use these products, or maybe you start sharing them with other people. And this is a one-time purchase, and you're saving over 35% on the platinum and over 33% on the gold. And right now you get a thank you check for somebody that comes in on that, a 40% thank you check the following week for each one of those. So you do that, you share that, and someone comes in 3 times on a platinum pack, you've basically gotten into the business for free, you've gotten your products for free, and you're ready to build a global business. But we're not looking at just return on investment. We're looking at for people who see this, who really know that this is a mission to get the world healthier. Prior to what was going on this last year with the pandemic, we need the world to be healthier, and these products are optimizing our cellular health, our brain health, our gut health, and on everything. To me, of course, can I do it? Well, that's a question you have to ask yourself. You know, if you have heart, if you're not a salesperson, but you have good work ethic and you have a burning desire to change your life, yes, you can do this, because if you follow the system, we have a beautiful system for success. In fact, I invite you this Saturday to be on our mastery training. We have a 1-hour mastery training, get a real good feel for the culture and the people of the company. And it's really people no different than me. I've never done this before. This is my first rodeo. And so a little bit about our company, LifeVantage. Aaron Brockovich is on our board of directors. I'm not going to go through all of these things. We can get you all this information, but it's amazing what has happened. We have international business awards for our products, including the hair care. We're on the Russell 3000 index. We have free shipping for orders over $100. And this is what I love. The NASDAQ, Wall Street asked LifeVantage to ring the closing bell during Wellness Week a year ago this time in January, before all of the stuff started happening. Pretty incredible to be asked. What an honor. So word is getting out, but hardly anyone knows about us, you all. There's 7 billion people here. And we are the official sponsors for Real Salt Lake Major League Soccer team. We're just growing and launching in different markets all over the world, and we give back. And that, to me, is my favorite part of LifeVantage, is our LifeVantage legacy. We've built homes in Mexico. My kids have gotten to go with us, and my husband, and built homes for families. Many on this call tonight have done the same thing, and it's just been absolutely extraordinary. So if you're excited about this, please get back to the person that shared this with you. Let them know. I don't know why all of a sudden it's just kind of a white screen, but anyway, let them know what you're thinking about. There we go. What you're thinking about, and they'll be happy to answer your questions. We love what we do. We're growing, we're expanding. We're in over, as I mentioned, 25 countries. And, you know, we're going to be in every country just about in this world. So thank you so much, everybody, for being on. It's been a privilege. Dr. B, do you want to say anything before we end this evening?
Just thanks for allowing me the opportunity. And for all of you guys, if you're wondering if it's for you, just give it a fair chance. Just give it a fair chance. Like I just tell you, story after story of people that I've treated for long time, and the difference when the body works right. And you don't have to guess. At the chiropractor, we said the body doesn't need any help, it just needs no interference. This literally turned on your natural innate to heal like it's supposed to. And the more of the products you use, in my opinion, the more systems you help. So it's a beautiful way for us to be able to help people that have struggled sometimes with things for decades. So thankful to be a part of it.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, and have a great evening.